Hey guys, Misery here, back with another CZM video. And as you see from the title, today we will be talking about the new battle pass that just recently got updated. Now if we go over here to the ARC supply tab, the battle pass itself is not anything new, it is the same one from last time. But I figured people would still have the question on who to pick once you hit tier 30 for the 5-star partner. If you go over here on the left to this tab, you can look at all the partners. We'll start off with Priscilla. Priscilla, she is just based off of reading her description and everything. She seems pretty underwhelming and weak for most strikers because the person who has this equipped gets extra damage dealt once a target is in ravaged state. There is a bit of downtime on the DPS here where you are not going to be getting anything extra from that, which is kind of why I feel like it's kind of underwhelming. The ego skill, the weakness can be clutch sometimes if you are in a pickle and you are about to die, and that extra weakness will save you from the boss doing too much damage. But just overall, I think Priscilla is kind of underwhelming, and there are a lot better 4-star ones for strikers specifically. Now Eishlen, she is going to be for vanguards. Anybody with counterattack like Magna is going to benefit from this. I don't know too much about Calipe, but from what I've seen, I didn't see any counterattack on Calipe, at least not on her base cards. Maybe there is an epiphany. This partner really screams like it was made for Magna, because health and shield gain are increased by 8%, and then when the combatant gains counterattack for the first time, they get 15% defense based damage amount. Everything here reads like it would be put on Magna, and then 100% shield at the end of the turn, and you retain 50% of it. So I know there are a few Magna lovers out there, so if you really like Magna, this would be good on her. But I don't think this one is necessarily one of the best out of all of them. To me, it's just all right. And next we have Solia. Now Solia is going to be really good for someone like Veronica, because not only is it for rangers, and Veronica is a ranger, but you get plus 20 flat extra attack to the person wearing it. And then when the person wearing it draws for the first time each turn using an ability, they get plus 10% attack card damage. And if we go over to Veronica's cards, she on repos, she has draw 2 cards, and then on Sir Kowalski, she has draw 1. So Veronica is going to be drawing a lot, and Solia is going to be really good for her. And then the ego skill is going to be 250% damage and apply 1 mark, which is good because Veronica herself, on my build at least, she has an epiphany that apply marks to all enemies. When I use her repose card, this is single target or AoE. Gonna assume it's for single target because it doesn't say all enemies. So she gets some nice chip damage when you apply marks to the enemies. And I think Solia is one of the better options out of the Battle Pass partners. And I wouldn't blame you if you wanted to go for this one if you use Veronica, because I know Veronica is popular and a lot of people like her. Next we have Serithea. And Serithea is pretty good too, because she adds 8% critical chance to the combatant's attack cards. And when the assigned combatant crits, you get plus 3% critical damage, stacking up to 5 times, which is an extra 15% critical damage. So somebody like Luke could benefit from this. And her ego skill, 250% damage and 2 vulnerable, which is really good because vulnerable in this game is one of the best debuffs. Super valuable because it just makes you do a ton more damage. So this one is up there with Solia too for me personally, just because I think this is a nice DPS partner for somebody like Luke. Next we have Anteia for psionic characters. Now this is going to be good for Kayron or Tressa. There's only 3 psionic units in the game as of right now, which is Kayron, Tressa, and Chizuru. But this is not going to really benefit Chizuru because she doesn't really, like, from what I know, she doesn't create cards. Like, her whole kit is based on her wisps that she creates, whereas Kayron creates a bunch of utility and Tressa creates a bunch of daggers. So when you're using this on someone like Kayron or Tressa, whenever you make a new card, you are going to get 8% damage amount to all your attack cards for 1 turn. And her ego skill here is really nice because it does AoE damage, but it also has vulnerable. So you're applying vulnerable to every single unit on the field. Which, when I really think about it, this screams Kayron since he has AoE, and if you are vulnerable to every unit on the field, it's gonna hit everyone. Whereas from what I know, I don't know much about Tressa, but I don't think Tressa has AoE. She mainly just does like agony damage to like a single target. But even if she is just single target, she is insanely good at it with how much agony she can apply, up to like 200 stacks. And yeah, I don't really necessarily think this one is like that good because there just aren't many psionic units in the game, and the ones you can use it on, you can only use it on 2 out of the 3 really, since you really can't like use this on Chizuru. Yeah, even though this is good for Karen, I would rank this lower on the list out of all of them just because of how niche it is. And then last on the list we have Nyx, which is arguably the best one in the entire battle pass that people praise her for. So what Nyx does is, first she increases the HP and healing of that unit done by 8%. But also, when somebody draws a card if they are wearing Nyx for the first time, all of your allies will get plus 8% damage for 1 turn. So someone like Ray, I have this is the one I chose last battle pass. I have this on my Ray because her snack time draws cards. Even though it's exhaust, it's not really the best on Ray since those are exhaust and like 1 use per battle, but my Mika doesn't have any draw modifiers, so yeah, and I didn't really need any of the other ones. But this time around, I low-key might pick up Solia just because I'm trying to build my Veronica right now, and I already have an Nyx. So her ego skill. So yeah, if we go over to my Veronica's save data, she has this mythic chess piece that at the start of the battle, you're allowed to discard up to 3 cards, and then you can draw 3 cards, or you can draw 2 if you only want to discard 2. But this mythic chess piece is basically what Nyx's ego skill does. The only difference between that chess piece and her ego skill is that instead of discarding 3 and drawing 3, you're gonna get +1 to however many you discarded. So if you discard 3, you're gonna draw 4. And then on top of that, you can use this whenever you want in the battle. It doesn't have to be at the start of the battle like the mythic chess piece does. So if you draw a hand and there's like 3 cards that are useless that turn and you don't want to play, you can just pop this, discard those 3, draw 4, and then it's basically a mini shuffle in a way for that specific hand, not the whole deck. But yeah, she can come in clutch sometimes, which is why she's arguably the best out of the partners. She's at the top of the list, probably number 1 for most people, and I don't blame them. She is good. If you do not have her, I do recommend getting her from this battle pass reset. And that's all the Battle Pass partners ranked and my thoughts on them. So a quick summary and recap for who I think is the best. Priscilla, I don't think is good. She is mediocre. Eishlen, she's like above average if you're like a Magna main or Magna user. Still not really like that good in my opinion. Solia, really good on Veronica, would recommend getting it if you have Nyx already. Same thing with Serithea, really good, would recommend putting it on someone like Luke. Anteia, probably the worst one here, not because of what she does or the ego skill, but because of how niche she is and how few units there are to use her for. Anteia or Priscilla, in my opinion, are the worst ones here, or Anteia and Eishlen. Yeah, probably Anteia and Eishlen, because the only person I can think of using Eishlen is Magna. That's who comes to mind when I think of counterattack. I can't really think of anyone else. Whereas Priscilla can be used on a bunch of strikers. So Anteia and Eishlen are the worst ones in my opinion. And then the next worst is Priscilla. And then, yeah, and then Solia, and then Serithea, and then Nyx. So Nyx is best, Serithea second best, Solia third best, Priscilla fourth best, Eishlen 5th best, and Anteia 6th best. That's how I personally would rank them, and based off what I read in their kits, that's how valuable they seem to me. Just keep in mind, this is my personal opinion. If you think differently, then that is okay. Do not come at me for having my own opinion. This is just what I think. Go for whoever you want or whoever you think would benefit your account the most. And with that being said, I think that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative to you and helped you out. If it did, a like and a subscribe would be very appreciated, as I just started my YouTube channel and I am trying to grow. But I've been getting a ton of support and love recently, so thank you to everyone who watches my videos and supports me. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.